Hello friends, and welcome to today's video. And in this video we want to talk about the new page builder that has been released by the Oxygen team. Oxygen Builder's founder made this announcement in the Facebook group, and I don't want to talk about all the drama that ensued and all the things. I just want to get into this builder and take a look at it. I just want to see what this builder has, and you know, the idea behind this builder is that it targets less advanced users, unlike Oxygen. And I want to take it on a spin to see how easy is this builder. So let's jump right into it. What I want to do is to try to recreate this hero section in the builder. Breakdance, much like Oxygen, is a plugin, it's not a theme. So if you go into the back end, you're gonna see all the settings where you have all the different settings. It comes with a lot of settings, much better than what we have in in Oxygen. In terms of the settings, it has a lot of integrations, has a built-in form, has a lot of options, and has a maintenance mode. Has a beta WooCommerce integration, and it can work with a theme. I'm not quite sure how that will turn out, and what the use cases could be, but it basically says you can use your theme's header and footer, and templates, unless they're explicitly overridden in Breakdance. So I'm not quite sure how that will work out. And then you can set up global style. Of course, that can be set inside Breakdance. You have custom codes, header and footer. I mean, these are very nice things that we wish we could have seen in Oxygen, but they're all here. But the question is this: can this meet the market? Can this satisfy the market for which it was created, which is for users, for new users, for less experienced users, the kind of people that would like to use Elementor or DV? That is, according to the CEO, according to the founder, Luis, he said this is his target market. So let's see just how easy it is to work with Brick. Is it really that easy for beginners? So I'm going to edit this page with bricks, and we're just going to start. I think the first thing would be to create a template for create a header. So I'm going to create I want to create a header first of all. So I don't have any header, so I'm going to add a header. I'm just going to say main header. I want to apply this header to everywhere. And then perhaps I just want to apply, maybe I'm just going to apply it to a single page, a specific page. Is there an option for a specific page? Or pages, I'm going to add condition. I'm going to choose a page is equals to Breakdance. So I want it to apply to that. So you see the content. Oh, this is really nice. I just like the way. Let me check that setting again. So you can add those priority, and so I think that's all. That's all I want here. Let's check out the templates. If I want to add a template, it could just be single product, single post. Okay, so I really don't need to add. Okay. So I'm gonna refresh this, and of course I've not designed my header. So let's go back to my header, and I'm gonna design the header. Okay, so I'm gonna go to edit in Breakdance. The first thing I noticed off the bat is the loading time is surprisingly slow for a framework that it's supposed to be fast. I really expected it to be as fast as, say, like Bricks, because Bricks loads much quicker than this. And of course, this is just the first release. This is the alpha, and I want to say that it is actually a pretty solid alpha release, because when I first tested Bricks when it came out, the alpha release, I had a lot of complaints, but here I have quite a few. But I mean, for an alpha, it's really much more solid. Okay, I never got to use Oxygen at the early stage. I came into Oxygen when it was already at version 3, so I can't really compare this. And of course, it would only make sense to compare this with another builder with a modern framework. So that's it. So I don't know if there's no header builder here. So if you type header, there's nothing like that. So you're just gonna add a section, and that section should, now this is meant for less advanced users, which they don't really have to know anything about CSS or HTML. So I'm not quite sure the thought process in not creating a header builder in the first release, because it's really important, for beginners. Now, as a beginner, you will not really know how to go about creating your header. You need to give it a header tag and all that. But well, because I understand, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give this my try to see if I can change the tag for this. So I guess that's gonna be inside advanced, and then anyway, let's see, tag. You can search for the setting. That's one good thing about here. I'm not seeing anything. Is there any way to add a custom tag to this? No. Layout, gap, horizontal, background, text size, and if anything, it should be under here. So let's see the wrapper, and there's nothing there. Okay, it's also possible I could be missing something, but let's check. So no tags. Okay, maybe I missed it, I don't know, but we're just gonna go ahead with that. So I'm gonna add a column. So let's take a look at that. So I'm gonna add a 2-column layout. So one is gonna be for the logo, and one is gonna be for the menu. So I'm just gonna add 2 column, and then the good thing is you can select this and just move this. Okay, so I want to move that to about that, and I want to drop do they have a special logo component? No, so I'm just going to drop an image there, and then I'm going to choose the logo. So I already have some images in the I already downloaded these images. So the white logo, I'm going to put it there. Okay, so I'm going to make my section kind of purple. I'm not going to waste time trying to get the colors perfectly, so going to go to background, and I'm just going to choose that color, and then for that column I would like check the layout. I want it to be like that. Yep. And then for this I want to add a menu. I think I would like to add a menu builder, which is one of the most powerful selling points of Breakdance. It has the best menu builder I've seen in any builder. So let's go to the layout. I want to move this stuff here. So this menu builder comes with pre-populated list for you to see what you can do with it, so which is really good. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave the default, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and check if it's possible to change the colors of the text by just selecting this. Okay, menu drop down, menu, desktop menu, So I'm gonna set that color to white. Okay, that's good. You don't even need to go into the individual components, so you can set the links to white, and then yeah, I think this is okay. So by selecting that menu, you could go in and set that typography. Let me not waste time on the, let's see. So the hover effect is you have a lower opacity. So let's see if there's any hover effect. Links. All right, so nothing really. This looks like. All right. Oh dear, I didn't even know you could do that. So how did I do that? So you could add a button. You could add a menu button. So we have a button here. So, and that is by mistake. I didn't even know you could do that. Undo. Undo, redo. Okay. So what happened there? All right. So that added a button, a menu button. So there's a dedicated menu button. Wow. Okay, so I'm just gonna type it, get in now. Let me close this for now. So get it now. The button is a bit too big. I'm not quite sure where to. Okay, yeah, I think at some point I may have let me save what I'm doing so far. At some point I may have set a global settings for the buttons. So all the buttons on the site, this is the default. So let me undo. Yeah, this is the default. So I could go into the primary button, let's set a background of white, and then typography, I could choose that color, and then I make it round. I think that's fine. I don't think you really have the option of you know, increasing the margins and the paddings on the button, which would be great, you know, to really control the spacing for the button. I'm not quite sure you can do that. Let's see, here you have margin top and bottom, which to me, I really don't think it makes sense to limit it to spacing to margin top and bottom, because the section element, let me save this, the section element has, if you go to spacing, the section element has padding and margin and has all the features. And if you go to maybe this column, let's see, it has just the padding, so no margin for the columns element. I believe if I add a div element, now it doesn't really make sense that the div element has only margin top and margin bottom. What about the paddings? So there are some things that I don't understand the idea behind. I just think that the only sort of things that would have margin top and bottom should be like the text, and maybe images. I mean, images should even have left and right margin. Okay, so let me just take that off. I'm gonna save this. So now I'm not, like I said, I'm not quite sure how to increase the size of this button the way I would want to increase it. So the style is primary. If I go to secondary, it's gonna go. So I haven't set the secondary, and spacing doesn't make sense. So I can't do anything other than to choose the presets for the size of the button. So you have small, default, large, custom. Oh dear. Oh, there it is. Custom. But it was on custom when I opened this, and this didn't show. Okay. Now, I have to say this. This seems really complicated, considering the fact that, you know, they're targeting learners. I mean, when you hide stuff like this deep down, I think it doesn't really feel like, I mean, it should be really simple. It should be really simple. Like here, I should be able to get all my settings here. So I go here, and then I go to size, and I see custom. Now, what is the default? What am I looking at? What's the default right now? Is it small? Is it default? Okay, that should have been there as a default. So I have my custom, so I can give it, let's say 24 pixel up and down. Let's make that 18. There. And then we can give 32. 32. Okay, so that makes it a bit something like that. Maybe this could go up to 20, 20, 36, 36. Okay, I think we're done with the button. And then for the padding up here, I'm just gonna give it 8 and 8. Actually, this is kind of like a transparent header, but I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to make that kind of header to be overlay. So I'm just gonna leave it with the color. I'm gonna save it, and then we will try seeing if we can make it overlay. So now that we have designed the header, I'm not gonna bother. Let's try to check with the typography. The Chrome Inspector tool. So yeah, the font size is 16 pixels. That looks too big for 16. Probably because of the type of text, the type of font. So I'm going to click on this menu again, and then menu. Yeah, I'm going to go to links, typography. The font size is going to make it 16, probably 18, and then we're going to make the weight 400. And can it be slimmer than that? Yep. And then I think I might just go take out a few items. Maybe this. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Saves fast. So I'm gonna go back to what so my Breakdance page, and I believe that that header should apply. So you can see it takes quite a while for it to open up. So you can see that you have the header here. First thing I'm gonna do is to add a section, and then I'm gonna add I'm gonna use I think 2 divs here. I think I would like to use the column element, so I'm gonna add column, 2 columns. And does it give us the it gives us the ability to have the gap. I want to give that gap 0, and then I'm gonna add a heading, and this section should be have a background. Okay, anyway, I already set that that color, so you could choose any color you want. For instance, if you choose a color like this, you could just add that and just give it and then it's going to be added. So that's how I added the other one. I'm going to change that text to white, color, typography, white. And then let me just copy this. And I think I want to set this to be bigger. Maybe that should be 40%. And then here I want to drop an image. And that image, I would need the width of that image to be, to be 100%. Can I image width? 100%. And yeah, and that makes the height auto. It's I like the fact that the height is auto. I'm going to choose the image, which is this. I think that is the one. Yep. Anyway, so I have that. Now for the column, I like to center this. Okay, so for this layout, center. Okay. Let me quickly see how that looks in the front end. Okay, so that kind of looks okay. So we have to increase this font size. So let me quickly check the font size. We have 54 pixels. Close that. And for here, we're going to change the font size to 54 pixel. What's the difference? Is there any difference? Yeah. Save. And then I'm going to drop this button here. So we have two buttons, get it now, and then this custom button. So I'm going to drop a button. Good thing is once you set your button, you have it there. I think what we have is get it now. Yeah. Okay. Alright, I just have to. And then I'd like to have another button bit. I'd like to have this inside a div. So I'm just gonna add a div there. And I want to move this. So easy. The structure panel is sweet. You know, you can just drag it to the right to move it in. And I want to add another element. So I'm going to add a link, a wrapper link. Now, of course, I want to stack this horizontally. So you can go to the layout and horizontal align center. And this is also one of the things that I think is it's kind of not very straightforward, because they could have done this better, where you have the option to choose vertical or horizontal, and these options will be displayed based on I'm not quite sure why it feels that this is easier. I'm not quite sure, but then I have my reservation about that implementation. Now if I put a gap here, yep, that gives me. And then inside here, I'm gonna, and this is what we want to do. I'm gonna have another div with an icon inside. All right, so so everything inside my wrapper, I have another div there, and of course I want the color to be white, and I want the width to be 50, height 50. And one of the things I like about this is you can actually search for stuff. So I want to search for the radius, because I don't know where to I don't know where to quickly find it. So you could see that you have the border radius here, which I'm going to set to 100 VW. Ensures it stays round, I mean, or 100%, still the same. And then I'm going to drop in an icon there. I'm going to choose from these different icons, but I just want a play. I think this is, I like this. And the size of this icon, how do I change the size? So I have this icon, the rotate, spacing icon, size. Wow. What is going on here? I mean, look at the icon is added. I should have access to the size right here. I mean, I don't have to go in here to get the size. I should have access to the size, because this is one of the first things you want to change. Size, color. What am I using? Rotate. Well, how important is rotation right now? You know, more important than size. So I think that size and color should have just been here. Having to go into this, personally don't like it. So I'm going to set that size to 24, and then for my div, I just want to go to my layout and just put center. On that div, I'm going to give it a border. So you can see that I don't know where that border is. I just want to type it in. So I have the border. I want the color to be, let me keep it here so I can see it, and I want the width to be like 5 pixels. So I'm going to move it up a little bit. So I want to have something like this which has a very big border around it. So I'm going to keep increasing it. Yep, I think that's fine. And let me clear that. So the size, I think I might increase the size to 60. Okay, see. Nope, 50 was okay. 50. And the border, I think that should be under advanced. Okay, yeah, it's right here. Border, let's make it 8. And then the icon should be a bit smaller. So I'm going to reduce that to, say, 18. And I think I would like to give that some sort of right margin to just nudge it a little bit. But then, of course, I'd rather do it here. So I'm going to give this spacing. Oh dear, no padding for the div. That's bad. Let's see if we can have padding in the advanced. It's in the wrapper, which doesn't make sense. So I'm going to go here, check advanced wrapper. So I'm going to go to the wrapper for the icon, and then I'm going to go to spacing. Now note you can move this aside, and then I think this feels tough for me. I've put a 4. It feels a bit difficult. I know where to go to get this stuff because of the experience I have, but I'm looking at it from the perspective of, you know, people who are beginners. I don't think it really feels intuitive, the workflow. I feel things could have been placed, you know, in places where how are you going to build? You need the margins and the paddings, apart from the fact that, you know, Breakdance comes with 100 awesome pre-built elements, but that cannot take care of things like this. You can't use the pre-built element to build your hero section and to build, you know, a button like this. Anyway, so I'm gonna have this link wrapper. This is supposed to be inside the link wrapper, so let me just move it in. And I'm going to drop in a text inside there. So I'm going to put a text that would say, watch the video. And I'm going to just put that text there. And I'm going to make it white. Typographic color white. And for that link wrapper, I think the layout, I'm going to make it horizontal. Everything will be center. And do I have a gap property there? 20? Nope. This should be 5. Let's see. Okay. Yep. 8 should be fine. Okay. So do we really need padding on it, because it's kind of you know, nothing. No need for padding, but the padding will help for stuff like this where you get close. So when you get close to it, you don't have to touch the write-up, okay, the text. So if I give it a padding, and then of course there's no padding, but if we go to advanced and then we go to wrapper, we should have a padding. The flyout is not really helping matters. I'm gonna make this 12, and yeah. Now this is supposed to be a wrapper, a link wrapper, right? I'm curious as to why I'm not having the cursor, the pointer cursor. So let me refresh this. And yeah, I don't have the pointer So why is it a link wrapper if I don't have the pointer? What's the point? All right, I could have just used a div. Then I want to give this a top margin. Yeah, the notorious top margin comes in handy. All right. Okay. Let's see. All right. But then the hover effect, where you have this on both the button. So I'm going to go to button, global styles, buttons, primary. I think under effect, you're going to have the scale on hover. Now you put 1, it's going to give you, that is 100, is the default. Then 0.1 is like 10% scale. So that's fine. But for this, let's save that and go back. For this, for the link wrapper, how do I scale it? So let's see. Can have that an effect. Okay, I don't know what to do. So how do I increase this on hover? Effect, opacity, add item transition, filter. Okay, so I want to scale it on hover. So let me search for scale. Can I get something like that? That I don't think that works for me. That is under animation, scroll animations. Let's go back and check what elements. So this is the problem, you know. So you want, this is what I'm saying. I'm gonna keep hammering on this. This is supposed to be easy, but you know, I should be able to see my hover styles. Like I should have access to it easily. I don't have to look for it. I am looking for the hover styles. For these, where are my hover styles? Like, how do I do this? Size. Transform. Add this. Transform. Scale. Okay, so where is the hover? I want to scale on hover. This is not okay. Okay, this is not okay. This is not okay. So I can't figure out how to hover background, wrapper hover background, wrapper hover background, hover border color, hover layout, hover size, hover spacing, hover border, effect transform, there's no hover here. So I have a hover. So anyway, I'm going to use the hover size. So I'm going to make the width now 100 and maybe, so 110 on hover, and the height, oh dear, that's not even it. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that. Let me leave that. So you see the problem. I'm having difficulties having. Maybe it's very simple. Maybe I missed it, but this shouldn't happen. Okay, this shouldn't happen. I mean, if I understand if I put a hover background, you see that's it's easy. I should be that easy. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that and move on to something else. So let's save that and go into the front end and check it out. All right, so we have this. Let's compare it to what we have. This. So these seem to span all the way here, and this has just 2 lines. So it looks like I moved this in a little bit too much. So I'm gonna just increase this a bit. All right. So I have that. So how do I make this move all the way in here, because this just moves all the way in? I'm not quite sure, but I think that if I select this column, anyway, I'm not going to go into that because that is we're going to go into the realm of advanced stuff, okay? And I'm not going to bother. Now I think we have a background image here. I'm going to drop that background image, so I'm going to select the section. I'm going to go to background, I'm going to go to image, and then I'm going to choose what's that? Where is that stuff? Okay, I think that is it. I'm going to drop it there. Background image full, okay. Image settings, size. I want to choose contain. No repeats, and position is going to be top, bottom left. Yep, I think I'm okay with that. Let's save it. Okay, bottom left, but the size is a little bit bigger than what we have on the original site, which is okay, not that bad. Okay, so that's just an overview of Breakdance, and then let's just take a look at some of the things that they have. I'm going to add a section, and then we're going to take a look at the elements. There are so many of them, and you know the beautiful thing about this element is that they look awesome out of the box. So this is an icon box. It looks really awesome. You know, the design team that put together some of these elements, they really did a great job. You see the pricing table. Let me just put that together by this horizontal. Okay, so they did a great job. You know, I think they really did well. So you can see these are really good, well designed elements. So now that is one of the strengths of Breakdance. They have a lot of beautiful elements. These elements are high quality, top notch. And then, I mean, just imagine Facebook video. You know, you see Facebook posts, and then the beautiful thing about it is that it comes populated by default value. So they already have, you know, default URLs to you know, that to use, and you could see Facebook post that was Facebook post, and you have a Facebook page plugin. And yep, if I go here and maybe, I don't know, there's no option to, nothing like flex option here, so I'm just gonna take off this and just, so you have this beautiful Facebook post. You have the size, width, height. It's crazy and it's cool. So you have other ones, Twitter embed tweets. This is, all of this comes with default values. You can see already how it's gonna look once you hook it up with your own website Twitter timeline. So you can just embed this into your website. So these are very awesome stuff that you can Facebook comment. these are really nice, and they all come pre-populated. So anyway, I mean, that pulls in my, my account. It's already logged. I'm already logged in on this browser, so it already pulls in my picture. This is good to see. And then one of the other things I like about it is the global setting is really powerful. You could right here make set stuff, and then it comes with a powerful form builder. We're not going to go into that. So that's it. Now the things I've taken a look and I don't like about it. First of all, you can't rename this, so I don't know if there's really no need for that. This is alpha. Let's take note. My complaints, take it with a grain of salt, okay? Because this is alpha. I'm just trying to point out things that could be improved probably in the next 1 to 2 releases. And then also some of the settings that are hidden away. I think that they have to really think about it. Even if you're a new user, what exactly are you going to look at for once you place your elements on the page? What are you going to look at for? So those things should be easily accessible. They should really give it a thought. I kind of feel like they haven't given it enough thought, even if they want this to be for beginners. Even in Elementor, it's much far easier to access some of the stuff that I'm finding it difficult to access here. So they should give that a thought. And another thing that is really great about this is at the breakpoints, you can actually add different breakpoints. You can add custom breakpoints. So this is really powerful. So if you go to preferences and you go to custom breakpoint, you can actually add a breakpoint. So I could add maybe smallest breakpoint, and then I will now click to set the width. Okay, so I'm going to say the maximum width is 320 pixels. Do I need to write that pixel? I don't think so. They already put it here. And the minimum width maybe 280. And the default preview width. Now this means how do you want to preview this breakpoint? Now you either set it to the max somewhere. So I usually think it's best to set it to preview at the smallest range. So I'm going to save that breakpoint. So I've saved that. And then I'm going to close this. Now if you go here, you're going to find the smallest breakpoint, and it should change. Why is it not changing? So did I do something wrong there? Let me check again. Oh, custom width should be 280. Did I put pixel there? I think that's a problem. Oh, what is going on here? So I needed to put the pixel px. So 280 px. I mean, they should have, save. Okay. Man, they should have told me to add it instead of just, doing it like that. Should have asked me to add. So yeah, that's another thing. They should have warned me, put pixels there, put the unit. I mean, since they added it in bracket, I thought that it's going to be appended automatically. So, all right. So I'm not going to take much time about this. I think this is a very nice alpha release, very wonderful alpha release. You have a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things I've not really touched. One of the beautiful things, of course, I showed you can search. You could also check, filter through only the options that you've modified. It makes it very easy to find changes or to track down where you made changes. So instead of going to be looking, where did I do this? Where did it? Was it here? Was it here? Just click modified. It's going to show you every changes you made. That is amazing. So let me know in the comment what you think about Breakdance. Do you think it's the kind of plugin, it's the kind of builder you would like to use for some very serious projects? I hear that, or I've seen that it has a very, very, very good WooCommerce integration, much better than Oxygen's. Is it the kind of builder you want to use for your very serious project? Or let me know in the comments, and how do you feel about this? All right, have a great day. See you some other time.